Hello everyone, it's Noah, also known as Cinematic Jurassic, and I am back here with another collection video, this time going over my entire DVD collection. Last time I went over my entire Blu-ray collection, which you can see most of it over here. So now it's time to follow up with the DVD portion of my massive home video library. Like with the Blu-rays, we'll start here with these first two shelves, and then we'll look at all the DVDs, mostly the bigger box sets that are not on display here. And as you can see, I do not own nearly as many DVDs as I do Blu-rays. Basically, at this point, I only get a DVD if the movie is not available on Blu-ray. And while that does reduce my DVD library, I would also argue that my DVD portion has a lot more hidden gems in it, since there's a lot more obscure media content that's on DVD that hasn't been on Blu-ray yet, so you'll find a few cool gems here. This is also where you'll find most of my paleo documentaries, for those of you who are interested in that stuff like I am. Also, like my Blu-rays, these are mostly arranged in alphabetical order. There's a couple of exceptions, and I'll get into those as we go along. But yeah, we'll just start here with these first two shelves and work our way down. So starting up here on the top shelf, we have 12 Days of Terror, a made-for-TV movie based on the 1916 New Jersey shark attacks that inspired Jaws. 100 Million BC, this is one of a few Asylum dinosaur movies that I own. If you know anything about the Asylum, you know that their movies are not exactly the greatest when it comes to quality, but you know, as a fan of dinosaur media, you gotta love them to an extent, at least the dinosaur ones. And this is one that I always had a guilty pleasure soft spot for growing up, at least for the first half of the movie anyway, when they're trekking through the jungle back in time looking for the science team. That part of the movie is really fun, but the second half of the movie, where the big red theropod rampages through Los Angeles, I always thought was really boring. And then we've got Age of Dinosaurs, again, another Asylum movie, not great, but still a lot of fun. Alien Planet, a really fun speculative evolution documentary from the Discovery Channel. And we've got Roland West's silent classic, The Bat. This was a 1926 silent film that also served as one of Bob Kane's inspirations for the creation of Batman. And speaking of Batman here, we've got the Batman-Superman movie. This was part of the DC animated universe that crossed over Superman the Animated Series and the new Batman adventures. And we've got Batman Beyond the movie. This is basically just the first 2 or 3 episodes of Batman Beyond combined into one movie. Bedazzled, one of my favorite Brendan Fraser movies. I think this has a Blu-ray release, but it's out of print and really expensive to find, so I'm just happy that I own it on DVD. And then we've got Blue Water White Death, one of the greatest shark documentaries ever made. This was filmed by Ron and Valerie Taylor, and if you don't know who they are, they also filmed the live shark footage for Jaws. And I think Peter Benchley himself even said that he considers this the greatest shark documentary ever made, and I'm tempted to agree with him. Buzz Lightyear of Star Command. This is one of my most cherished films in my entire home video collection, because I used to have this film on VHS, and I would watch it all the time as a kid. It was a movie that launched an animated series of the same name, and I did enjoy the series growing up, but I really enjoyed the movie that launched it so much as a kid. It stars Tim Allen, returning as Buzz Lightyear, which is a plus, and it also has Wayne Knight, Dennis Nedry / Newman himself as Evil Emperor Zurg, which is really fun. It's just a great movie, going over Buzz if he really was a space ranger. And I was always under the impression that when the new Lightyear movie was coming out, that it was going to be something more akin to this. And I never ended up seeing Lightyear, but from what I've heard, it wasn't anything like this at all. So yeah, when it comes to Buzz Lightyear spinoffs, this will always be what I go to, and I'm happy that I own the movie now on DVD. And then we've got a double feature of Carnosaur and Carnosaur 2. And then Carnosaur 3, Primal Species. I do own one of the 2 unofficial spin-offs for Carnosaur, and we'll get to that one in a minute. And we've got Clash of the Dinosaurs. Creatures the World Forgot. The Dallas Cowboys, A Complete History of America's Team. This is a great documentary series that basically goes over what it says on the cover, the history of the Dallas Cowboys franchise from 1960 to 2003. So it's a bit out of date, but still really fascinating. I highly recommend it if you're a fan of NFL football like I am, or even more specifically, a Dallas Cowboys fan like I am. And then we've got several DVDs here, movies and documentaries that start with the word dinosaur. So we got Dinosaur Apocalypse, Dinosaur Babes, Dinosaur Island, Dinosaur Project, Dinosaur Wars, and then we've got dinosaurs, plural. This was I think this came out of from a library. Yeah, it says up there, Dayton Metro Library, but I found it on eBay for like $5, and I just thought it would be an interesting thing to add to a collection. So it's really weird. It basically goes over what the title says, The History of Dinosaurs in Hollywood, and it features interviews with the legends themselves, Ray Harryhausen and Steven Spielberg. So yeah, really, really cool to own that. Haven't really seen that anywhere else before. And then we've got Dinotopia, the complete collection. This was a Mill Creek release, and it comes with both the miniseries and the actual 13-episode series. So yeah, solid release there from Mill Creek. You can always count on them to do cool releases of more obscure content. And we got Dragon's World, A Fantasy Made Real, another really fun speculative evolution documentary going over dragons. Then we've got the Eden Formula. This was the unofficial Carnosaur spinoff I was talking about that I owned. It's unofficially Carnosaur 5 because it does use footage of the T-Rex model that was used in the Carnosaur films. And so I guess by default that makes it an unofficial Carnosaur movie. It's not very good, I won't lie. There is a other unofficial Carnosaur spinoff called Raptor, but I have no plans on getting that one anytime soon because from what I've seen and heard, it's literally all just stock footage from the original Carnosaur spliced together with new human footage, which I just don't care about. And from what I've seen, it looks really bad. So I'm a fan of collecting bad dinosaur movies, but even I have standards that I won't cross, and Raptor is one of them. And then right here, we got the Essential Dinosaur Pack from the Discovery Channel. This is one of my most cherished DVDs that I own because it has so many of the iconic documentaries that we associate with the Discovery Channel, both good and bad. I won't lie. So I'll just show you all the ones that are available on there. So we got The Valley of T-Rex, T-Rex, New Science, New Beast, When Dinosaurs Roamed America, one of my favorites, Utah's Dino Graveyard, Dinosaur Planet, iconic, The Mystery Dinosaur, which goes over the history of the theropod Jane, and Dinosaurs Return to Life, which basically is Jack Horner going over his determination to make the Chickenosaurus. So yeah, really cool set. And then right here we've got The Future is Wild, another great speculative evolution show that I highly recommend. The Ghost in the Darkness, a movie based on the Tsavo Maneaters. Godzilla vs. Biollante. Now, this is a DVD that I have such mixed emotions about every time I see it. I'm filled with both relief and regret at the same time because if anyone doesn't know, this DVD, it was released by Miramax and it's now out of print. And both the DVD and the Blu-ray are really expensive to purchase now since they're out of print. And I have so much regret because when I bought this DVD, at the time I was still collecting Godzilla movies as a whole on DVD. I hadn't upgraded to Blu-ray yet. But now that I have upgraded to Blu-ray, the Blu-ray for this is now out of print. So I can't put it over here with my Godzilla Blu-rays. I could if I wanted to, but it would just bug my OCD because I'd have one DVD in there. So, you know, it just bothers me that I should have gotten the Blu-ray and I don't know why I didn't. Like I said, I'm still relieved that and happy that I own the movie at all because it's out of print, but I just wish I had bought the Blu-ray instead of the DVD, but I didn't know any better at the time. Then we've also got Godzilla the series, which is a good show, and I do recommend watching it over the 1998 movie for sure. It basically fixes a lot of the fundamental problems that people had with the 98 film. You know, Godzilla breathes fire, he fights other monsters. It just feels more like Godzilla than the 98 movie did. Grizzly Man, one of my favorite documentaries ever made. In fact, I would say it's my favorite non-paleo documentary ever made. Werner Herzog's narration and direction is absolutely fantastic. Then we got Halloween. Now, I do own the original John Carpenter Halloween as part of the 10-disc Blu-ray set from Anchor Bay and Scream Factory. But I specifically bought this DVD because, as it says at the top there, this is the extended edition of the movie featuring 12 minutes of extra footage shot for television. So, for those who don't know, a bit of a history lesson, when they were making Halloween 2, Halloween was about to be released on TV, and they needed to go back and film extra footage to fill a certain runtime. So this DVD right here basically has that extra television footage in it, and the television footage has been released on the Blu-ray as well, but as DVD, as deleted scenes. It hasn't been incorporated into the movie itself. So this extended edition DVD is one of the few ways you can actually watch the movie with the extended footage in it. And then we've also got Halloween 25 Years of Terror, great documentary series that goes over the first 8 Halloween movies. So everything from the original Halloween to Halloween Resurrection. Hollywoodland, really, really interesting movie. Iron King, the complete series. And then we've got Stephen King's It, which has been released on Blu-ray, but I just don't like the way the Blu-ray came out. Quality rise in the aspect ratio I thought was really weird on it. So this is one of the cases where I just prefer the DVD release over the Blu-ray personally. And then we've got the 1959 version of Journey to the Center of the Earth. This one is famous for, using lizards with sails on their back and things like that to be so-called dimetrodons. And then we've got the 2009 version of Journey to the Center of the Earth from Asylum. And it also includes 100 million BC as a double feature. So out of all the movies I own on DVD, the one I never thought I'd have 2 copies of is 100 million BC. I never thought I'd own multiple copies of that movie, but yeah, here we are. All right, so now we've come to one of those examples I was talking about earlier of most of the movies here are in alphabetical order, but there's a couple of exceptions, and we've now come to one of those. So, as you can see, the title of this DVD here, this particular DVD, says History Classics Dinosaurs. But if you look on the back here, see all those? If those episode titles seem familiar to you, it's because this series is actually Jurassic Fight Club. And I think it even says it here on the back. Right there. Originally released under the title Jurassic Fight Club. Now, why this particular DVD is not called Jurassic Fight Club, I have no idea. But since the series is obviously Jurassic Fight Club, I put it under J for Jurassic Fight Club. So yeah, really weird example there. And then right here we've got the Jurassic games, which, I have to say this is another made for direct-to-DVD dinosaur movie, but it's actually one that I can say is pretty decent, and not even on a guilty pleasure level. Like, it's actually, I would even go as far to say good. It takes itself relatively seriously, and the dinosaur designs in it are actually not that bad. Like, don't go by what the cover shows here. Like, that T-Rex is obviously typical monster movie trash, but the T-Rex and the other dinosaurs in the film itself actually look pretty dang good. Like, even on the back here, the difference is night and day. So yeah, if you're looking for some actual decent direct-to-video dinosaur movies, this is one that I would actually recommend checking out for sure. One movie I wouldn't recommend, though, is King Kong Lives, which I still consider to be the worst King Kong movie ever made. And then we've got Komodo, a really fun monster movie. And fun fact, this was actually the one and only directorial project for Michael Lantieri. And if you don't know who he is, he was the special effects supervisor for the original Jurassic Park trilogy. And I believe Stan Winston Studios also did the special effects for the Komodo dragons in this film. And we've got The Last Dinosaur. This is part of the Warner Archive collection, but for some reason they never made a Blu-ray for it, which I thought was weird. So, because it's DVD, I sadly can't put it with my Warner Archive Blu-ray collection, but still I'm happy to own it because this is another guilty pleasure cult dinosaur movie for me that I really, really love. And then over here we've got the Land Before Time sequels. Now, if you see my Blu-ray collection video, you know that I do own the original Land Before Time on Blu-ray. Here it is right here. And here is where I keep all the sequels on DVD. So we've got these 3 movie sets. This first one here has 2 through 4, 5 through 7, which I would say these 3 are the ones that I have the most fond memories of growing up with. I loved all those. And then 8 through 10. And they did do another 3 movie pack with 11 through 13, but I didn't get that set because by the time those ones came out, I had already sort of grown out of Land Before Time. And also from what I've heard from fellow LBT fans, 11 onward, the movies get really bad. So yeah, I just decided to not even bother getting that set, and I'm just gonna stick with these 3 to cherish for nostalgic memories. And then over here, we've got the 1974 original Land of the Lost complete series, which is another show I absolutely love. I remember watching reruns of this show on the Sci-Fi Channel, and I just thought it was so fun. And I do own, again, the 1992 Land of the Lost series, as well as the Land of the Lost movie with Will Ferrell. So I do own the entire Land of the Lost franchise, and this still is my favorite out of the 3 interpretations for sure. And then we've got the Asylum release of The Land That Time Forgot, which again is, I would say, out of Asylum's movies, this is one that I would say is not that bad, at least as far as Asylum movies go for sure. And then we've got my many different adaptations of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's The Lost World. Now, I do own the original 1925 silent version of The Lost World here on Blu-ray from Black Hawk Films. So I'm happy to have that. And then the rest of the adaptations I own on DVD. So we'll just go through those real quick. We've got the 1960 version. This one, again, like the 1959 Journeys to the Center of the Earth, is infamous for using real lizards and alligators to portray the quote-unquote dinosaurs in the movie. And over here, we've got the 1992 version, which also had a sequel as well. I love this DVD, by the way, how it opens up like that. Yeah, this one got a sequel. So you've got The Lost World, and then you've got Return to the Lost World. And this is a really good adaptation of the story, in my opinion. Not my favorite, but it's one that I still enjoy. And fun fact, this one stars John Rhys Davies, who my fellow Tolkien fans will know for playing Gimli the Dwarf in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. And then over here we've got the 1999 Lost World TV series, which is really fun. And then we've got quite possibly my favorite adaptation of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's The Lost World, at least my favorite outside of the 1925 original. The 2001 adaptation from BBC, which I think most people know. This is the version that reuses the dinosaur models from Walking with Dinosaurs, so just slightly updating them a bit. But yeah, I thought that was really cool. So yeah, definitely one of my, if not my favorite version or adaptation of the story that's been released. And then coming down here to the second shelf, we have Monsters Resurrected from Discovery Channel, Hammer's version of The Mummy, and again, this is one that had a Blu-ray release, but for some reason the Blu-ray is ridiculously expensive. It goes for like $80 or $90 on Amazon and eBay, so yeah, I just decided to get the DVD. Wish I could put it with my Hammer Blu-ray collection, but for some reason the Blu-ray is just, like I said, so expensive. So it's kind of like Godzilla vs. Biollante. I'm really happy that I own the movie at all on DVD. Just wish I could have it on Blu-ray, but it is what it is. We got Never Sleep Again, The Elm Street Legacy, a great documentary series going over the history of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. Old Yeller, this is from the Vault Disney collection. Very, very sad, but also very cherished and iconic Boy and His Dog movie that I absolutely love and adore. The iconic Planet Earth complete series. And this has been released on DVD as well, but I just have so many cherished memories with this DVD set that I just can't seem to let it go. And then we've got Planet Dinosaur, Planet of Dinosaurs, and then a few Planet of the Apes DVDs here. Now, I do own the original Planet of the Apes film series on Blu-ray, as well as the reboot trilogy on Steelbook Blu-ray. And then what you see down here is basically everything else that I own that's not on Blu-ray. So we've got Return to the Planet of the Apes, the animated series, which I just got not too long ago. Then Behind the Planet of the Apes, a great documentary that goes over the history of the original 5 Planet of the Apes films, hosted by Cornelius/Caesar himself, Roddy McDowall. And then we've also got Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes. This does have a Blu-ray release, but I specifically got the DVD because it comes with all these great special features on it, and, you know, the Blu-ray doesn't for whatever reason. And I also just, again, it's sort of like with Stephen King's It, the 90s miniseries. I just think the presentation of this movie works better on DVD than it does on Blu-ray for some reason. So, yeah, this is one that I never felt the need to upgrade to Blu-ray. Prehistoric America here, underrated paleo documentary series. Another underrated one, Prehistoric Predators from National Geographic. And then what I like to call my little Impossible Pictures section, which I could have put under I for Impossible Pictures, but I just put under P for Prehistoric Earth because that's what the main series is there. So these are basically, like I said, all my Impossible Pictures productions. So Walking with Dinosaurs, Primeval, things like that. So right here we got a standard DVD release of Chased by Dinosaurs, which also comes with Sea Monsters, which some people just put under the Chased by Dinosaur brand anyway. And then right here we've got the Ultimate Dinosaur Collection. This is one that I have a lot of cherished memories for because this is it, guys. This was my introduction to the Walking With series. This DVD set right here. This came out in, when did it come out? Yeah, 2007 is when this DVD series was released. So I remember getting it for Christmas and being so excited. So yeah, guys, this DVD right here was my introduction to Walking with Dinosaurs, and I've been a fan ever since. It also comes with Walking with Monsters and Allosaurus and Chased by Dinosaurs. So yeah, great set that as you can see, it's been loved and worn to death because I've watched it so many times, but I will always cherish it for introducing me to an amazing series of paleo documentaries. And then I've got the Prehistoric Earth and Natural History Walking With collection. And this set comes with Walking with Monsters. I don't know why they called it Before the Dinosaurs here in the States. I just thought that was stupid. Walking with Dinosaurs, Allosaurus, Walking with Beasts. Again, I don't know why here in America they felt the need to put the prehistoric in there. We know it's prehistoric, obviously. And then the most underrated Impossible Pictures series, Walking with Cavemen, which I absolutely love and will defend till I die because I love that series. Like I said, underrated. I'm just going to put that here. Won't go back in there. And then we've also got my original DVD copy of Prehistoric Park, which, again, sort of like the set I showed earlier, has been worn out and loved to death, but I still cherish this so much. Prehistoric Park has gotten a couple more DVD releases here in the United States since this one, but like I said, I can't seem to let this go for whatever reason because I have so many nostalgic attachments to it probably, so I'll still cherish that for as long as possible. And then we've got Primeval. So we've got my DVD copies of the entire series here, which I really love and treasure. I wish that the show would get a new DVD release and higher quality, but for now, if you want to own Primeval on DVD, especially here in the States, these BBC video releases are about as good as you're going to get. So we've got Volume 1 here, which contains Seasons 1 and 2. Volume 2, which contains Season 3. and Volume 3, which contains seasons 4 and 5. And then we've also got Primeval New World, the complete series. Moving on from that, we've got Pterodactyl Woman from Beverly Hills, starring Beverly D'Angelo, a crazy movie from Troma. Python, a somewhat decent snake movie. I would actually argue this is better than Anaconda, personally, and it's got Freddy Krueger himself, Robert Englund, in it, which is really cool. Raptor Island, again, one of those direct-to-video dinosaur movies that I would argue is not that bad. I actually really enjoyed this one, and this is another one that I would highly recommend checking out. Red Water, a somewhat decent direct-to-video shark movie, and this always bothers me because on the cover here it shows a great white, but the actual shark in the movie is a bull shark, so I just thought that was funny that they advertise it as a great white even though it's a bull shark. And then we got Sasquatch Among Wild Men, a really interesting and fascinating documentary about not just Sasquatch, but cryptid relic hominids in general. So everything from the Russian Almas to the Yeti, the Chinese Yeren. Just a really, really fascinating documentary. If you're interested in Sasquatch and cryptid hominids like I am, I would highly recommend checking this out. And then we've got Sci-Fi Boys here. Really fun documentary with some very iconic people in it. I'll just let you pause and read all those iconic, amazing names right there. So yeah, basically, if you're into the stuff I'm into, this documentary just goes over all of it, and it's really, really cool. And then I've got a few Shark Week DVDs here. You know, Shark Week is a show I love, and I always look forward to it every summer. And I just wanted to get some of the various seasons over the years on DVD, just so I have cherished memories. And I have a few of them. So we've got Ocean of Fear, Jaws of Steel, and I don't remember the specific years these seasons were. I just like the titles of them. Restless Fury, and Fins of Fury. Then we've got Spectacular Spider-Man, the complete series. Fantastic show. I would argue one of, if not the best adaptations of Spider-Man ever put to screen. And then we've got the 2D Star Wars Clone Wars TV series, so Volume 1, Volume 2. Really enjoy those. I do prefer the 3D Star Wars Clone Wars series overall, but I still really enjoy the original 2D ones for sure. And then we've got a Star Wars Trilogy bonus material DVD. Now, this came as part of the 2004 Special Edition DVD set, and I got rid of that once I upgraded to the fan-made Blu-rays that I showed in my Blu-ray collection, but I specifically kept this DVD because it contains the amazing documentary Empire Dreams, which goes over the making of the original Star Wars trilogy, and I would argue is the greatest making of documentary for any movie ever made. It is a fantastic documentary, and I highly recommend checking it out. Swiss Family Robinson, one of my favorite movies of all time. Terra Nova, the complete series. This film is not yet rated. Really interesting documentary going over the controversial MPAA rating system. Rodan and War of the Gargantuas. I just put this under T for Toho Master Collection. And I'm really happy to own this DVD because these are two of my favorite non-Godzilla kaiju movies that Toho ever made. And then we got all of my Tokyo Shock Toho kaiju DVDs. And I just put these all under T for Tokyo Shock because I just wanted to keep them all together. So we've got the Mysterians, Varan, Matango, Atragon, Dagora, Frankenstein Conquers the World, also known as Frankenstein vs. Baragon, Destroy All Monsters, Latitude Zero, Space Amoeba, and last but certainly not least, Godzilla vs. Megalon. Moving on from that, we've got T-Rex Back to the Cretaceous, really cool IMAX short film. And then this is another one of those weird non-alphabetical suggestions that I was mentioning earlier. The DVD is called Predator Dinosaurs, but if you look down here, it's really the 2005 series, The Truth About Killer Dinosaurs. And again, I don't, kind of like with Jurassic Fight Club, I don't know why they didn't just call the DVD what it is, Truth About Killer Dinosaurs. But, you know, whatever. Unknown Island, an obscure 40s dinosaur movie that featured men in suits going the suitmation route to portray their dinosaurs, which look like Ceratosaurus, but apparently they're really supposed to be Tyrannosaurus, but have a horn on their head. So, yeah, really weird there. And they fight a giant sloth, which is interesting. And we've also got Voyage to the Planet of Prehistoric Women. Ridiculously long title for a ridiculous dinosaur movie. And then last over here, we've got When Horror Came to Shoutout. This was part of the Eclipse series, which I believe is, a subsidiary of the Criterion Collection. And it's a series of 8 Japanese films from Shoutout Studios. That includes X from Outer Space, Gok the Body Snatcher from Hell, The Living Skeleton, and Genocide. And if I'm being honest, I really purchased this set mainly for the X from Outer Space, just to have it as part of my kaiju collection. But I have watched the other 3 films since then, and they're all really fun in their own ways. So yeah, interesting set of films there. And I almost forgot about these. Now, these DVDs right here, these won't really matter to anyone outside of people who went to high school with me, and more specifically those who were in marching band with me. These right here are DVDs featuring me when I was in marching band, which I did back in high school, and they're mainly personal DVDs more than anything else. But yeah, it's just a great nostalgic way to look back on my years in marching bands. Those were really fun times in high school. So yeah, I've always treasured these particular DVDs, and I can't believe how long it's been. I mean, look at these dates: 2014, 2015, 2016. It's crazy. I mean, this was almost 10 years ago. That's crazy. So yeah, I just always reminisce on high school whenever I watch these DVDs and look back on my times in marching band. So yeah, a lot of fun memories encapsulated in these DVDs. And then up here on this top shelf here, we've got a few of my DVD box sets, as well as a couple of other obscure items. So we've got a steelbook case and a Band of Brothers. Love that series. And then all of my Seinfeld seasons. Now, I'm a massive Seinfeld fan. My dad introduced me to the series, and I just fell in love with it instantly. I think it's the greatest sitcom ever made. I love it, and I quote it all the time. I just can't get enough of Seinfeld. I absolutely love it. So yeah, I've got all the seasons there on DVD there. And then another comedy series that I absolutely love, Parks and Recreation, as well as the American version of The Office, the complete series. And right in front of it there is my little Dundie Award. And then this right here, this is the story of Temple Grandin. And if you don't know who she is, she's a very prominent autism and animal rights activist. And as someone who is on the autism spectrum, she's just always been an idol to me, and someone that I and a lot of other people with autism look up to. And I got her to autograph this DVD for me as well, which is really cool. This is based on her life, and Claire Danes plays her, and she does a phenomenal job in the film. So yeah, that's a DVD that I really, really treasure. And then this series right here, this is really cool. Mysteries of the Deep, which is part of the series Undersea Explorer. And I really treasure this series. It's really what got me into deep sea exploration and learning about marine life. So it's really, really cool series. Highly recommended if you're into undersea exploration, whether it's sunken ships or buried treasure or just learning about different marine life. It's a really, really cool series. And then finally over here, we've got a couple of more DVD box sets to go over. So starting over here, we've got the Godzilla collection from Classic Media. I think most people are familiar with this set. Classic Media released a couple of different versions of this set, but I went for the big one that I think most people are familiar with. If I can get this cover off. Yeah, I went for the big set that has the thin DVD cases, which are really, really cool. And then there's all the movies that come with it if you want to pause and look at that. So yeah, that is just a really, really cool set there. And then over here we've got the 1960s Batman complete television series on DVD. This comes in the Warner Bros. 100-year anniversary slipcover, which is really, really cool. You open it up there and they got some production photos, which are, like I said, really, really cool. Great set. Then over here, we've got the British version of The Office, which I really, really love. I love it just as much, if not more, than the American series. And then John Adams, one of my favorite TV series of all time. I absolutely love this series. And then last, but certainly not least, over here we've got the Universal Classic Monsters Complete 30 Film Collection, which comes with most of the Universal monster movies that I think most people are familiar with. So I'll just pause it right there and let you all look at all the movies that come on this amazing, amazing set. All right, guys, so that is my entire DVD collection. Like with my Blu-ray collection, I hope you guys enjoyed and look forward to more collection videos in the future. Stay tuned. Take care.